welcome. You're watching The Date with me, Abha Bakaya. I'm here today at the O22, the all-day dining at the Trident at Bandra Kurla complex, which we've heard has an absolutely scrumptious breakfast buffet. So we're here to sample that. I'm meeting Anjani Kasliwal of S. Kumar's. Before we actually go out and meet Anjani, let's tell you a little bit about her role in her father Nitin Kasliwal's company.
Anjani Kasliwal. Yes, she's born into the SKNL royalty, yet she chose the hard way to success. From interning with her father's company when she was only 15 to training with fashion brand Escada in Germany, she's done it all to be what she is today. The vice president of the luxury arm at S. Kumar's that houses brands like Reed & Taylor, Belmonte, Stephens Brothers, Carmichael House and international ones like Alfred Dunhill. Now Abha is catching up with Anjani at O22 at the Trident Hotel, Bandra Kurla complex in Mumbai. A lavish spread of fresh fruits, pancakes, cereals and a selection of warm Indian dishes. That's the breakfast menu you're served with at the restaurant. Now if you'd wonder why the restaurant is called O22, well, it's very simple. It's got its name from the telephone code of Mumbai. And it's not just the breakfast menu that impresses you, it's an all-day dining restaurant with an open kitchen that serves cuisines from across the world. But unlike other dates, this one's a breakfast rather than lunch, keeping in mind that Anjani has a flight to catch later this afternoon. Bringing luxury brands to India means traveling overseas almost every week to meet partners and study new trends. Starting off healthy, the girls decide to first pick from the selection of assorted fresh fruits the buffet has to offer. As they settle down to enjoy the first course, Abha tries to explore how Anjani actually got into the business at such a young age.
When I was in the 8th grade, I kind of knew what I wanted to start off with. So I kind of worked towards that even before doing a formal course. It kind of came naturally. It's not that my parents ever told me you have to come and work with us and join the business, and it's not a family run business. Today what we have is a professionally run business, and we thank you, and it's more about and I'm there as a professional, I'm not there as the owner. I think every employee of our company are owners themselves.
But there must be some advantages that come with being the promoter's daughter. Did you ever sort of perhaps go to your father and say, that project sounds interesting, I might want to do that?
My parents have always given me the freedom to put my two-bit in. There are a lot of informal talks that happen, beta, this is going on and whatever, and I give my point of view. I really think this would help us or whatever. So it's always taken into consideration.
Okay. A lot of the brands that you're also focusing on now are starting to look at the youth in more detail, particularly when it comes to the 16 to 30 kind of age group. There's a direct connect. You must have your own ideas about what really appeals to the youth at this point of time and what people are looking for, whether it's here or what people are looking for from Indian brands overseas. Mm-hmm. So what is the connect, you feel?
Our youth is very brand conscious. Okay, they know all about what's happening in the international markets as far as trends, what designers are doing, what brands are doing. This is not just in the metros. Like we would think that this is a Bombay, Delhi, Bangalore culture, but it's not like that. So we saw this neat gap where a lot of international brands were coming down, but they're also a little more on the expensive side for a college going kid to spend an afternoon in a store and then come back feeling like he hasn't hurt his pocket.
Right.
We identified this brand called OVS Industry. This is an Italian brand. The model is fast fashion. Fast fashion basically means that the merchandise in the store changes every 4 to 6 weeks.
Okay.
So you don't have to wait an entire season to come back to the store.
Okay.
Every time you come back to the store, you'll see something new. It'll be refreshed. We're high on design. The USP for this brand is super quality, right. Italian design, Italian fabrics, but at Indian mid-premium prices. Affordable is not like the right word I'd use here. Anybody, like a group of 17-year-old girls, young women actually, can walk into the store, spend an afternoon there, pick up a few items and leave without, hurting their pocket. Also, the product range.
Right.
We have a very wide variety of product. We have something for every occasion. And today's youth is all about, changing with the times and, oh, so yesterday. How many times have we heard that?
Talking done, Abha and Anjani finally take a bite. Now looks like starting up at a young age runs in the blood. Well, that's what Abha has decided to delve into. Anjani's father, Nitin Kasliwal, MD of SKNL, too began his career when he was only about 16 years old. So how different were Anjani's experiences from her father's?
My dad started working. Coincidentally, he was at Jai Hind College as well.
Okay.
So he started working at the age of 16. And at that time, our office used to be in Marol. So he's told me he used to take the train every day from Pedder Road to Marol and work all day on the production floor.
So, and have you ever had to take a train?
No. Sometimes it's unbelievable for me, when Dad tells me that, I used to take a train every day and you crib to go to Andheri every day and you're cribbing. Because so many times I've told him, Dad, it's such a trek to go all the way there, and I can imagine what people go through traveling every day. What's amazing is that he started off at factory level. So I don't think there's anything he doesn't know about the manufacturing of a fabric. Right from sourcing of the plant to the actual making of that fabric, each process. And I think that's amazing because today, no matter what happens, you can't question him on that. He just knows it, which is the most integral part of the business anyway.
So does that put a lot of pressure on you in terms of the kind of knowledge that you need to sort of, shore up on and always be prepared? And does he himself put pressure on you sometimes?
I don't think he's put pressure on me on this aspect. It's something that, when I was 10 years ago in 99, when we took over Reed and Taylor and brought it to India, we were setting up the manufacturing plant in Mysore. And at that time, I was little at then, but we used to go to Mysore once a month. At that time, it was more like tagging along with Dad.
Right.
But just seeing it all happen, I was very, very curious, and I was really interested in the whole process of things. How it's spun and the machines and the work that goes into it and the whole dyeing process. And today's day and age, it's different. It's not. I've never really looked into the manufacturing, the fabric part of the business anyway. I've more been retail and communications.
All right, well, let's take a very quick break, but we're going to come back and find out what's keeping Anjani busy these days, because she herself is also at work at 8 a.m. every morning. We'll be back with that. Do stay tuned.
Foodies to the core, a second trip to the buffet is not surprising. French toast and potatoes for Anjani, who has a sweet tooth, while eggs and mushroom is what Abha chose for herself. While the ladies dig into their scrumptious breakfast, the next question is why the company doesn't have any celebrity endorsers to market their latest project, OBSA.
I personally also feel that for a brand like this, you're going to need to get to the consumer. And the best way to do that is to interact with him with more below the lines and having 100 print ads. That'll probably help your brand